I am so glad Maria and Ty met. She had told us that there are very few people like her and Ty who are trying to save the pangolins, and so for the two of them to get together was such a important moment. And the work he's doing in Vietnam is so important as well, Alida.
Hmm.
What can you tell us about Asian pangolins?
Well, like African pangolins, they are endangered. They're even more endangered than African pangolins. So they are either critically endangered or endangered, while our African pangolins are listed as vulnerable. Um, yeah.
And also, tell us a little bit about that tension between the fact of what pangolins offer humans and what humans can offer pangolins. We see that contrast, that tension. Tell us a little bit about the demand and why these animals are so in danger right now.
Sure, I think a lot of the time with endangered species like pangolins and elephants, it's really difficult to address the end consumer demand because it's not just, they're not demanding aesthetic pleasure like ornaments or trophies. It's actually something that they want as a medicine, right? So a life-changing cure for what they believe is a life-changing cure. Um, there might not be evidence for that, but I mean, if you're the end consumer, it's your last possible option. You're going to try anything, right?
Right, a cure for cancer, who wouldn't go for that, right? So that's some
Sure.
of the tension that the show, nature is really helping us see. It's not black or white. There's these tensions that exist, and I think that's one of the things nature does best on PBS is it really helps you see the ground level, the complexity of the issue, which is so important. So you are a conservationist, Alida. Can you just give us just a taste of why you decided to dedicate your life to conservation like Ty and Maria?
Sure. I mean, I'm fortunate to have grown up in South Africa, which is one of the biodiversity hotspots of the world. Yeah, and I was raised in a house where we were taught respect for nature. And as I've grown up, I've seen that somebody has to be on the animal side because otherwise, you know, what's going to happen. So yeah, I guess I'm motivated by my past and my country and just the need.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have you with us here in Urbana. Alida's a PhD student here at the University of Illinois, and you can help WYLL and Pangolins by making a pledge right now during this show, Nature, and John Steinbacher, our membership director, is going to tell you all about it.
That's right. We're looking for support. We'd love to hear from 20 folks tonight to help us make sure we can keep nature on the air. And one great thing that we here at PBS and WILR would offer you, Lita was just talking about growing up, how her family was very supportive. Well, there are families, there are little children across our region who might be watching Nature tonight, and this show or other nature shows might inspire them to grow up and be great scientists like Alida, great conservationists. I know from personal experience that my wife is now a scientist at the university, and nature was a big influence on her. So your support tonight, right now, is going to not only help us produce programs like Nature, but it's going to help us produce a future of conservation and scientists. So hope you'll do that right now at 217-244-9455 or go online to willpledge.org. Thank you.
When you support WILL with an ongoing monthly sustaining gift of $6 or a one-time gift of $72, you'll receive a DVD copy of tonight's episode of Nature, the world's most wanted animal. Relive the touching story of Maria, Stephen, and the adorable pangolin Honeybun. With your ongoing monthly sustaining gift of $10 or a one-time gift of $120, you'll receive a pangolin shirt in military green. Part of the proceeds from this shirt go to the Rare and Endangered Species Trust, which is the organization in Namibia featured in the program. So your support of WILL goes even further.
This is such a beautiful nature show. I hope you will be able to make a contribution and get that show for your home library, or maybe an inspiring scientist in your life. John said how his wife, how nature helped her become the scientist she is. I also have a story, some of our younger programs. We have a show on PBS on this station called Wildcrats, and a 5-year-old by the name of Landon was watching Wildcrats when they happened to have an episode on pangolins. He was so moved by these gentle animals that he was talking all about it with his friends and his peers, and he actually did fundraisers for pangolins, and he got a t-shirt. He raised $400 to save pangolins. So that's the power of public media, right? Inspiring a 5-year-old with the animated Wildcrats show, and now inspiring you as a lover of nature talking about pangolins. John is here to tell you more about how you can support WILL and Pangolins right now.
That's right. As we've mentioned a couple times, if you make a $10 a month gift, get started at a $10 a month gift right now, you can select one of those great t-shirts that feature a pangolin on the front, and proceeds from that gift will go to support Maria's place in Namibia that's helping to save not only pangolins but a lot of other animals as well. And if you have a little extra time, I recommend going online to look up the place called REST. Which is Rare and Endangered Species Trust. So look that up online. But we're also here to make sure that we're coming up on the end of our calendar year, and we're looking for 800 gifts here in December. We'd love to hear from as many of you as possible to let us know that you appreciate nature, that you appreciate everything that we bring, education and outreach, not only now, but of course during our kids programming, and we have so many other great things going on here. It's really worthy of your support. So give us a call, 217-244-9455, or go online to willpledge.org when we do outreach, but I believe Alita does some outreach as well.
Yeah, again, we're so fortunate to have Alita here at the University of Illinois, a conservationist, and also here in the PhD program. Tell me a little bit about some of your outreach efforts. We know that has a huge impact on people's awareness, and what are some of the things you're involved in?
So I'm involved in outreach here in America, but also in South Africa. And so some of the outreach we do here in America is to expose kids to genetics. So specifically, I do wildlife genetics. And genetics is such an important tool for conservation, and it's becoming increasingly important for not only for assessing the health of populations, but also for determining where poaching hotspots is and things like that. And so just telling kids out there that you can use this wonderful tool for a conservation purpose is one thing that I do here in America. Yeah.
So when you tell them, do you see their little brains and lights going on, click, click, click? They're connecting in a way they hadn't before?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people haven't thought about it. Even grown-ups haven't thought about how you can use confiscated either ivory or pangolin scales and look at the DNA. And if you have DNA from pangolins or elephants across the world, you can actually match that DNA to this world map or reference map that you have, and say, oh, this is from Central Africa, and so we should focus our conservation anti-poaching efforts there.
Fascinating how you can take science and the heart to make a big difference. So you can make a difference right now by making a pledge at 217-244-9455. Thanks so much. We're back to the show.